This is huge for the Chicago Bulls as Coby White breaks out of his shooting slump and Josh Giddey gets his 13th career triple-double. We'll be talking about the key takeaways from tonight's win against the Milwaukee Bucks. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe, and welcome to another episode of Bulls Digest. And so today, the Chicago Bulls take care of the Milwaukee Bucks 116 to 111 at home. And this was a great win because the Chicago Bulls really had to get gritty down the stretch to take this game away from the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the type of wins that you see winning teams get often, where they're able to come together when things get tight and take care of business. And that is what you see from the Chicago Bulls tonight. And this was great because they had just had a 3-game losing streak. And so let's go into just the box score and some of the key takeaways from tonight's game. And so let's start with Josh Giddey. And so Josh Giddey was fabulous tonight. He had his triple-double. He had 23 points. He had 10 assists. He had 15 rebounds. He had 1 block, but he was plus 18 in the plus minus box score. And so one of the biggest takeaways from this game for me is when Josh Giddey went in clutch time to close down the game. And Chris Middleton, he went at Josh Giddey and he got the first score. And then after that, you see Josh Giddey fight Chris Middleton off of the spot. He couldn't get the basketball. Then there is a key moment in that 3-minute stretch that pretty much iced it, where Josh Giddey gets Chris Middleton to turn defensively, and then that is where Patrick Williams gets the rip, and then he finishes on the break, and then it leads to a timeout and everything else. But anyway, Josh Giddey made some critical defensive plays down the stretch. He had a huge block in this game as well. That was nice. And then also, too, just the attitude that we saw from Josh Giddey tonight. He played like he was just hungry out there, and this is the Josh Giddey that we want to see. So 23 points, 10 assists, the 15 big rebounds, the 1 block. I loved everything that Josh Giddey did today, and I loved the physicality that he brought to the game, not just defensively, but offensively as well. There were a ton of times where he just dipped his shoulder into people and went up for his floater, and he knocked down a critical 3-point shot down the stretch. So I got to give Josh Giddey his credit. Next up, Coby White. And so Josh Giddey's my first MVP. Coby White is my next MVP tonight. He did a terrific job as far as getting downhill and getting himself out of the slump. 22 points. He had 4 assists. He had 2 rebounds. He had 1 steal. He had 1 block, but he was plus 12. And what I loved about Coby White today is he literally put his head down and looked at the rim, and that's all he focused on. Other games we're seeing him, he's looking for the home run 3-point shot and everything else, and that usually leads to overpassing. Tonight, look, Coby White did a great job getting downhill. Great to see Coby White tonight do that, and so he had a huge game. Next up, Vooch. So Vooch had a huge one, 23 points, 5 assists. He had 13 rebounds. He had 1 steal. He was plus 3 in the plus minus box score. And Vooch did a terrific job as far as knocking down timely 3-point shots, especially when Milwaukee was making its runs. And so once again, Vooch continues to play at an all-star level. We know that he shot 29% from there last year, but man, he's really turned it around this season. And so next up, Zach LaVine. And so Zach LaVine did a terrific job as far as pacing himself. He played off of others. This is something that was talked about really in the offseason. Could he do that? And he's doing that brilliantly this year. And so he had 15 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, only 3 turnovers today. That's much better than the 7. Obviously, you want to see him not turn the basketball over that much, but still, that's better than what we saw in that Atlanta game, and he was plus 7 tonight. So I think he did a great job as far as playing off of others. Patrick Williams, look, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks, plus 12. He was gritty on the defensive end, made a critical play down the stretch. I talked about that when Josh Giddey turned his offensive man, Chris Middleton, and then he gets that steal. And so Patrick Williams showing the emotion and the grittiness on the defensive end. This team really needed that, especially with Ayo being out with a calf strain. And so next up, some of the bench contributions today. And so I want to start with Buzelis. I think that Buzelis really defensively tonight, he was great. With the 2 block shots, I think that you're seeing that Modest Buzelis is becoming a much better defender. And with the block shots that we saw today, it wasn't a chase down block. It was blocks where people were trying to attack him, coming at him at his body, and he was able to hold his position and block the shot. So that really is showing me that he's got a level of growth this year. And so even though we didn't see the scoring that we'd like to see from Modest, I think that you're seeing a lot of good things just trending up for him. And the one basket that he did score, I think it was the right foot layup, so the same foot layup, that was beautiful that he pulled on Brook Lopez. And so you can see that he's getting more comfortable getting to the basket, because I think earlier in the year he would have got knocked off his spot. THT was a +5 in the plus-minus box score tonight. We did see some good contributions from Torrey Criag. I think that he really put some pressure on the Milwaukee defense by going out there and making Brook Lopez have to step out and really defend the three-point shot today. He had 6 points and 3 rebounds. He was -1 in the plus-minus box score, but still did some great things, gave us some great minutes. And then with Jevon Carter, 5 points today, 1 rebound, 1 assist. He gave us some good minutes as well. We really needed that, especially with Ayo being out. And Zoe knocked down some great shots, some three-point shots when we really needed it. But for the most part, what Zoe did is he really settled this team. This is something that we needed in Atlanta. And, I was wondering what was going to happen when he came out of the basketball game and Josh Giddey had to respond in the clutch time. I talked about this in the pregame, that between these 2 guards, they were going to have to stabilize this team. They did a great job today. It was good to see Josh Giddey come in for him and close. But Zoe helped get us there. He had a beautiful look-ahead fast break pass to Zach LaVine, which led to a dunk. Stacey King loved it. And this is what I'm talking about with Zoe. Just with his basketball IQ, he's able to just help you out on the offensive and the defensive end tonight. So even though he was -17, I think that he just played a lot better than what that plus-minus box score is going to show you tonight. And so let's go ahead and jump into just some of the key takeaways from the box score tonight, because I think that the Bulls did a terrific job in a lot of different areas tonight. So let's start with rebounding the basketball. I think that the Bulls did a terrific job there. Obviously, I talked about just how well Josh Giddey did, just getting a lot of rebounds and helping Vooch out. So 52-43, the Bulls lead in that category. Next up, the turnovers today. And so both teams actually did a pretty good job as far as minimizing turnovers. 11-8, the Bulls lead in turnovers, and so still we don't want to lead in that category, but that's much better than what we've been seeing here, and this is something that the Bulls have got to correct. I think as you continue to learn how to win, those things you start to minimize. And so next up, with the fast break points, and so the Bulls did a terrific job as far as getting out in the fast break tonight, not really necessarily relying so much on the three-point shot. 14-8 as far as Bulls fast break points, so that was good to see. And then points in the paint, this was huge for the Bulls tonight as they win this 56-42. We knew that they had Bobby Portis, we knew that they had Lopez and Chris Middleton. They were able to feast on the Bulls in that last game. That did not happen tonight, mainly because Coby White had a season high in points in the paint tonight. You saw that Josh Giddey was able to get downhill. If you got a chance to see that game, there were several times he was downhill living in the paint. I think that Vooch took advantage of his possessions as well. And so the Bulls were just so much more aggressive tonight, and that's why they lead in the points in the paint. Then next up with the steals tonight, the Bucks, well, they lead in steals tonight. They did a terrific job there. They were also a little bit more active as far as blocking shots are concerned too. So the Bucks were active with steals and blocks. But next up, the assists. So tonight the Bulls had 33 assists. That is very good basketball. They were really getting it done, especially in the first half. And then when you look at the field goal percentage tonight, 47.4 for the Bulls, which is solid. We're only 38.9 from 3, and so that's solid too. I mean, that's almost 40% there, so that was pretty good. With the Bucks, they shot 40.2 from the field and then 33.3 from 3. Dame Lillard did hit some critical critical shots down the stretch where it got a little bit rocky for the Bulls. It looked like that they might be getting ready to pull it out. The Bulls actually had to fight back and get the lead back after being up by as much as 13 points in this one. And the free throw discrepancy, it wasn't there tonight, which is good because we know the Hawks had way more free throws than the Bulls in that last game. Tonight, the Bucks went to the line 14 times. They actually hit all 14 of them, and the Bulls were 12 of 17, so we left some money at the line today. And so, look, the Bulls, terrific. Look, they gave up a 13-point lead, fought back, they got the win. Also, too, they even up the season series. Giddey, his 13th career triple-double, so congratulations to him. Coby, a season high in points in the paint. That was terrific to see. And I think the moral of the story with Coby White here, and with this Bulls team, when you see that you are able to dominate points in the paint, is this. Look, I know that 3 points is better than 2, but 2 points is better than none, which means that the easiest shot in basketball is getting downhill and going to the rim. So hopefully the Bulls can take this tape and they can continue to utilize this because they need this really, I think, to unlock their half-court game. And lastly, the Bulls finished with a 13-5 run to close the game, and that is something that just championship teams do, and teams that really have it locked in, they get it done there down the stretch. And so, great win for the Bulls. Love to know what you're thinking in the comments. Want to thank everybody out there for liking, sharing, and subscribing to the content. It means a lot to us here at Bulls Digest as we try to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers by the end of the NBA season out there. Want to let you know about 66.8% of you that watch are not subscribed to the channel, so make sure that you go ahead and you mash on that subscribe button for us, as it means a lot. Look, the Chicago Bulls get a critical win against the Milwaukee Bucks after losing 3 straight. This is good to see. Now we're looking to see this Bulls team hopefully get some more consistency. Hopefully they can take the things that they did well in tonight's game and really transfer those things over moving forward, because I think that there's a lot of good things to take away from this one. And so even though the Bulls, we know, still need to get that ultimate direction going, and we need to get some more consistency for this season, great win, and I'm saying go Bulls, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.